Hi, GC News. Mima Olivia Aquaba. Hadia latest and hot news in Kwan and I'm a Bremo. MT, so subscribe ya. Omodian say over subscribe to the channel. The way I say over click the subscribe button. Now barely notification. Awareness are you could be upload when the first person of Sabeka ASR video. I feel we are now like video and give us a thumbs up. Now feel share my offer for us now when you be here now and some Koso Ghana Memohano. Afriyie Bura Sama Veto Yeponoso. Yeti a yes, Uncle Moya Kosi Sasimi about to be Yeti home.
Makacho said, what's your maimuna or tam to me the money pa unimyansa? Who endanger the life of everybody? When you arm a fool with power, you endanger everyone. And that is exactly what is
when you arm a fool with power.
With power, you endanger everybody. And that is exactly the space every Ghanaian finds himself at this moment.
Yes.
At this spot. Captain, some of these things, China need on take precautionary measures because bana wabano omu because or pass through a compromise system. And don't forget, yet you come on a VR and so good a man for Swakosombo deliberately. Ya neno one yashe no one say ye pian so no good ni paso sa besin ne. No single person has been held responsible and accountable to date. Yet na mokoye the offense donation. TV stations koye donation, amount for donated cash and that's for till date. Not even a single person has been held responsible and accountable. And it's a China and you know banner or Juma way. Now want to keep precautionary measures. The question is, what is the bottom line? Because leaders are so irresponsible and so reckless that all they want is money. Contract your mommy, go and look at the contract. Nipa ya pay you before and some amunya contract, you know. So that is the kind of system the entire fabric of our society is so rotten and so compromised to the extent say some of these things will happen. But you see, if you look at politics 10 years ago, you've been around for quite a while, and I know, sir, you understand these things. If you go back 10 years ago and you look at politics then, now here politics and now why? Because the young people of this country are consuming a lot of information. Nobody consumes information and sits idle. Definitely no, you have the energy to act on the information. So you see the kind of resistance that people are putting out there. And first, people felt dumb because people thought that politics was just a place there for few people in fancy seat. A-class school. People are realizing, say, we all have an equal stake in this country, irrespective of who you are, whether educated or not, whether you are a plumber, you are a taxi driver, your stake in this country is equal. And we have the right to protect that particular interest. It's the reason why, in the face of just irresponsibility, gross irresponsibility and negligence on the part of government, citizens as original said, no, the government has failed, but we the people will not fail. And 10 years ago, who young people I see a demonstration for galamsey. Very often you don't hear some of these things.
Yes.
By now, government at the point a year resist amount for no people are still getting out there just to vent their frustration on government. Captain, my catcher said at this point, nobody coming from anywhere will save us from the where we find ourselves. They see you're doing because my catcher said you don't go to any environment I'll find sustained bad governance and you feel say you are a victim. We are all accomplices and sponsors. But you realize this, we need to undo the damage that we have done. And some of these things and they're also because citizens react you begin to ask yourself, why are they not in jail? Because, for instance, now you say Ralph Akobie, your friend is saying cathedral side baby, telling Ghanaians, find $58 million. The person showing it to the world, is a criminal, and that he has to be imprisoned. But the very people who stood on platforms and used our money, taxpayers' money, are $58 million. What they call Bokoa, a bit yes, a man for life. What they call BA, a bit yes, a man for life. A man for an and in this modern day, where they are women. Now, what I'm saying, until date, nobody has been held responsible. The Sanya Miana and Asofo no Musa India Chireno. about there, no, we boss ma resign, and then they resign and they all go. So we live in an environment where people commit crime, and all that you have to do is you resign, you get away with it. So you see, the impunity system now creating a fester to a point. Society now a orderless society, and it's the reason why some of these things are prevalent. Because system now has demonstrated that people we put in power in this country, you know, they don't care about what make your welfare. Nobody comes in to say something build any better Ghana for anybody. People come to take care of their family, and the whole politics is now by a cesspool of corporate interest and your friends individual greed. Obama, take as much as you can. Then you go and take care of yourself. But average people are here building infrastructure, and as well, because where the world is going today, Captain. Now where the investment today, the Industrial Revolution 4.0 is underway. Countries are taking advantage. Position the country in the way among for better maximize individual potential. They yet position the country because the world is going through certain competition and be a reposition. I want to say, where are we today as a country? Your environment cry, your preserve. That is the only thing I want, Captain. We are destroying it. Nanka yes, sir, no Ghana for the benefit here. The people destroying this at a massive level here, the same Chinese people are these Chinese are acting as just proxies, working at the behest of these individuals in power. Because Otugo don't know the man. So I know the day, you know, you remain impoverished, I will remain impoverished, and few people in power will continue to swim in wealth. And they will continue to dominate, and that is the politics. This is the reason why among one person the status quo no ever change, because once it changes and people become enlightened, they will lose their power and they will lose control. So all that they have to do is make sure say these things will in play. And I told the idea, you have IGP. As or spending the time, you know, to ensure that they go to the ground to stop people from mining, no, or not go after innocent people. Demonstrating, protesting against the destruction to our environment. Now, you call to be so or non so, but say nobody will exercise common sense. I will say, so everybody is angry. Gauge the pulse of the country. Look at the sentiment being expressed by the people. Common sense will tell you, say, no, you cannot imprison these people, but under certain whatever circumstances, our judicial system has been so compromised to the sense that the average and ordinary Ghanaian has no trust in the judiciary today. The judiciary has become a toy, like a stooge in the hands of power, and a president a toy around with it, because if the Attorney General can sit somewhere in the US, because Tikroma misdemeanor and such cases are police no prosecutorial powers to take some of these things. You know that those prosecuted, Attorney General a prosecutor, because he took that power from the police, because our buying were interest room and they prosecuted these people, but the very people who are on the ground, you know, they've been left off the hook. Nobody's being held responsible. Everybody be to galamsey for the president is aware. He's the one signing authorization, giving it to them to go to the forest reserve. People who are supposed to sit and speak are him for Mukroma. All they care for is V8. They have lost their conscience. They've sold their integrity to the dogs. All you need in this country, but more V8. We go bit in a class, car come back to be that now. Channel, your friend said V8. But what we the air cost for my they will not speak about it. It's the reason why we are here, because galamsey way and can never know your fight because your land no traditional leaders inside. So they exert authority. I understand they don't have that executive power, but at our local traditional level, no, they have some level of authority or to exercise to control some business. Now, by then,
I am fear or Tewasana V8 by 7.
Yes,
I'm a packet. Yes, the captain. Brother him, ye be Mpumano. Let's see the Becoso. I'm better now here than him fear no. Nana say. Asare ya media abayem frame sebimra omso twen DC neighbor.
Yes,
DC neighbor osenana ani asase ya wodia na Ghana ye mra kuni na ye constitution ne say ye de agudie bi e wasase tim na hye mampeninsa mampenina ma omutumi ntimi no mienu ayete he no ye ni tumi bia ti de obetumi aye na anse ye bebo amane ne abra wonsa na wagu nsa no mbe ye adwuma wa ohene beka
Captain, yes, some of yes, I understand them, depending on who you are, you see, but you see...
And that one is correct.
Yes, that typical conservative politics where we fold our arms and watch things would glide, you know. I'm telling you, sir, the world we find ourselves in right now, no, the sentinels of our democracy, the gatekeepers, you know, the power of the people, you know, are far overriding and far overreaching to the extent say Ghana for acting in the face of these things. Obien over to me land so Kwaku galamsey.
Oh yeah.
What's the American?
Is he sorry?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because we are just ordinary people, but through the power of the media, we are telling people what has to be done.
That's right.
So how much more I am for more community than to me organizing people to do some of these things. You see, me say the corporate, me say governance not bad. A cesspool of corporate greed. Everybody is involved, including chiefs. Now, you take Romana as software, said, we are 10 in the Bible. Who are supposed to look into the president in the face and tell him, say, hey, Janse Mununo, now, young Kwan will be the president. Rollins, you know, so he ruled this country for 17 years. He could have given the forest reserve everything to people, but he didn't, even as a military officer. How dare you at this time, 80 years, you know, what the forest reserve in a man for? This and summer, as I suffer, look into the president and tell him in the face, enough of this nonsense. But I know how can you take these people serious? And I'm catching you see, if you look at the various stakeholders in our enterprise called governance now, because of greed, every single one of them has been compromised, except the youth and the young people of this country who feel that no, at this point, we need to take our destiny into our own hands. And I am telling you, you cannot stop the people. You understand? The only option you have is to sit and do the right thing. Because if you don't and you think you can use the police, you can use the court, you are mad. Because that day, a day is coming now. The power of the people will be so overriding and overreaching. Say, no man can stop them, no court can stop them, no police officer can stop them. Captain, we don't need to get there. We've seen such excesses in Africa in recent times. Among for sorry, we all see what happens. So we are sensible now. We are reasonable. Captain, you don't get there. But this is the situation we have now. Obia miano and what sorry I walk asano. You are tagged as a radical, a miscreant, or some kind of anti-government surrogate or whatever, and I tag you, and they will get the police and other institutions to intimidate you. And if you look at all state institutions in this country, tell me, and then compromise, including the media today. How many people now some they will even put it on the table for discussion? Because some of even the media people are neck deep in the galamsey. Media people move to galamsey ukroma say. So that person, you know, energy better or better. Yes. Oh, Captain. Sammy,
okay, now your body papa so tomorrow
a report about one thing, name me and shame me all these individuals. But they don't care. You understand? So you see, we are the only people that protecting the foundation of our democracy. All we have to do is to hit this sense of patriotism and nationalism. Some are Ghana and who said no, enough of this excessive partisan activism over the years, because certain people just capitalize on this weakness and division, creative strength, you know, just to prey on the system. They become rich while we become poorer. Because from 1957, the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. Nobody is building systems and incentive via will be leverage to potential whatever will be a way to move and a system no economy. This is the time I coming together and say enough is enough, and we work towards revival this particular country, because Ghana our potential to be successful among the community of nations in Africa. About 50 years ago, now nation now our potential power for any brain and Ghana. But Ghana needs to make China ko pop Can I the Monfanchayan? A president to Kruman or Tonkra, and my Germany finance minister said he should go to China and apologize to them there on my time. Yet, even individuals of Mudo Musika Kobo are buying Bosnian, they can't even access their money. How did we get here? Ukoma, say, numerous silly executive decisions na man for take here the idea babedruha. We sat on this platform, we warned them, we told them, say, a day will come, we will get here. Here we are today, and we can't even speak about our economy. This is the first time we are going into an election. Nobody's talking about the economy of this country, because there is no economy to speak of. The vice president who has over the years making noise around and economic works are done as a form. Look at the CD, look at the dollar. Where is he? Is he talking about it? Then he goes out there and jokingly proud himself, say, or digital mind. In digital infrastructure, Ben Wale Ukruma. on the internet about Chroma say, you see, enough of this nonsense. And I mean, all that I am interested in said the average Ghanaian will be enlightened. People will consume information and begin to act on the information rationally, devoid of emotions. Because when you invest emotions into politics, you sacrifice wisdom along the line.
All right.
We need to be very sure, sir, and we fight to secure this country. That is the best way we can win.
Yeah, Captain. I started from Bujumbura issue, no? I think, sir, Ghana, we glorify foolishness.
We glorify foolishness.
And
producer Kachem say he's very sure said nenye.
You see, we glorify foolishness, one, and two, this is a lawless country. Very lawless. Irresponsible leadership has rendered this country to become a lawless country. You see, when you are it makes you feel say you are nowhere than I don't know how to describe this country. Ghana is dead. Ghana is sick. Ghana is running like political ORS. You see, we need to find solutions to make sure say now as a country, you know, now you make things work and work better. You see, the entire because Ghana lawless, no. I say, Evan, right? Is that right? Yeah. Or can Sambia, I want to support him. Say they all can, I don't know, a mudo. Now I want to associate myself with him with a lot of statement or the above thing. From where I'm maybe free, like Mikasa Edema, almost about 18 million people. Captain or Hardine, for example. Ghana offer and no means and Ghana and put the whole world. If we were to present or put together 3 basic things like I will need boom, food, shelter, your security and possibly clothing. This is the basic needs of human beings. So if you have country with leadership who are clueless, who cannot think outside the box, and they cannot solve the basic problems of the Ghanaian people, then unfortunately you are having useless leadership. Leaders who cannot think, cannot create, cannot make things happen, it means that we are doomed. I'm begging, taking this platform to say, when I would say some of us have been behind for a long time, but you studied Ghana for a very long time. And any canon, I've heard Captain Canadian, people don't understand. I've had Canadian, Mommy Canadian. You see, this is the time I was saying about the corridors of power to understand that the power is not in their hands. The Constitution of the Republic of Ghana states clearly and emphatically that the power of this country emanates from the people. And Yama President we gave the president something small. We gave the minister something tiny from the powers of the president. And they are misusing it. We are not going to use any hard words on them. But me say Ghana for ye be any. Now make a house and say my making. Captain, I'm taking the opportunity under Bawumia TV because over the years some of us have had opportunity platform to speak for the Ghanaian people. We talk document a lot of media houses to talk about social issues. Because like we are towing the line of the politicians, but the social issues ne here else here canon yen Bujumbura asemi ya kan ho asemi ya on say I na yem pay for minimum they travel a lot but they don't learn. The minimum say they just travel, ride in just travel, be airlifted, running skater, moving from Europe, the Americas and wherever. But even this they would have taken Ghana to different level. Now, and then Ghana Tenant Union, let me put in her. The person me making some statements kakra. Now, I'm say objectivity is very important time. And we in Nipa, you have to be bold and speak and put the truth where it must be placed, with no fear from any quarters. Because one day born, one day die. Nobody can die twice. They born you one, you die one. So you speak the truth to the corridors of power for the people to appreciate and understand. Say, we have men in this country. Not say man you go. And nobody can use any law to intimidate anyone because I'm a criminal. I don't have any criminal records in my sheets. And I think say I need to make sure say yeah, Captain. Politicians say we are aware. Meaning say we are aware. Are you aware when our rent law came into being? 1963. Act 220, the 220th law of parliament, the rent law. In fact, rent control issues, came under the 1952 ordinance, rent control ordinance, 1952. From 1952, Kwame Nkrumah 1952 to 62, 10 years, came out with the rent law. And the rent law was clear that under section 25, subsection 5, no landlord is expected to demand rent advance exceeding 6 months. Captain, it is stated clearly, black and white, open, under section 25, subsection 5, that it is illegal, it is criminal and offensive that any landlord in this country who take rent advance exceeding 6 months has to be jailed and punished or pay 250 penalty units. And then there is what you call impunity. Landlords are demanding 3-4 years after all. The reason why I'm building a case, create a lawless country. So you have people who also compromise lawlessness. What us here? And those who cannot think outside the box, we have ministers come and gone. Especially, I want to be on the housing ministers. Coming down here from the Akufo Addo's government, from Atachia to Asante Bediatuo to Oponkroma. You see, I'm sorry to say they cannot think. I'm not insulting them, but I believe, say, if they really mean business, and they bet me up a solution to their problems. Because the Beyonce be joblessness, unemployment, but the basic needs, ask the workers, why are they going on strike? Why are they chanting and ranting? Because they cannot pay their rent. Because somebody who is supposed to check how much you should what? You should charge or you shouldn't charge. It's not in order. Somebody says, "Me na mesi me dying, Captain. Opa tinamu, opa ko." And the law says this, and nobody after 62 years, that law is not working in the country. If you do know that, Captain, that we have a rent bill in Parliament, I don't know whether you are aware.
Yes, sure. That one I'm aware.
Almost 20 years in you. The rent bill that says, okay, yes, some problem now. 1 year rent advance. 1 year. From 6 months to 1 year. If the landlord are saying, say, 1 year, 1 year. Me no can say, Parliament bear rise, I can't say 50 something at Traba. In the next 30 days or 40 days, I'm passing the rent bill in the Parliament now. It says start all over again. Yeah. Everything is started now.
Passing galamsey.
Yes, what I say. What I say, they have to make sure say you be throw out. Meanwhile, the Ghanaian people are not getting place to sleep. It media the American say, Afriyie by betu ya yetu. They may say Ghana from politics through the organization, but we want to set the platform open for all people to make assessment that Monshan Krofona or Modi policy bremono. Especially the NPP and the NDC, these two people.
But NPP for say we here die.
Do you know that we were part of the launch of the National Housing National Residence Scheme? The tenant of Ghana, I gave a solidarity at the full glare of Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia. Nano Tosrebo, 2 UC boss, all of them. And I warned them that it's going to be as usual. But they should find ways and means to curtail that. I told them. It's like, it's a failed policy, which I have stated on many platforms. I have issued statement that we disassociate ourselves as a union. Because, of course, it's a failed policy. It has failed, and that if Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia, the NPP, make an attempt, to stand on the podium and stick in the, what do you call it?
Stick their chest down.
Pride.
Okay.
We will just stick our head and boot for them. No, when the rent assistance came, when it came, I buy Captain. Almost mama. February, January this year, almost say on Komama 1,492. Let me say, bring the list. Bring the list of the beneficiaries because want to be to confirm family. I had issued a statement as at now they didn't mind us. I heard them talking about say it is successful. Recently, upon Kroma came out and with the press conference, meet the press, and it's talking about achieving a lot. The rent assistance scheme is doing well. But I'm telling what's the name? Mr. Upon Kroma. So on the buy and kyei, I say Abba fresh. So it's unfortunate that he is going to be loaded on misinformation. Not also spew because it's about government. There supposed to be. Are you aware of Segleme?
Oh yeah.
And now you're aware.
Segleme.
Do you know that after 7.5 years, let's expose them. Let's expose this government. It's high time we expose them for people to know how careless, too short, and wicked that they are. Very, very wicked.
I politician.
Wicked because one, we have Segleme. Somebody started something, went for a loan of $200 million, invested the money, whether it was 1,500, 2,500, the matter is in court. It is the court in Yama court in Chomuntu Mebwa. Not that can yen salvage na obintiram. That would be the wisest thing that every government, any government would do, unless a two-monkosi government. A two-monkosi government and a two-monkosi leader who believes, say after all, of course, if you can't think through who you two-monkoso, you can't think, you can't create wickedness. Is that one? Are you telling me, Mr. Segleme, for 7.5 years? The last government, you know, NDC4, captain, almost $7 million materials is stolen. And financial loss to the state. Under the watch of this NPP, under the watch of Attachia and Asante Bediatuo, almost $7 million United States dollars worth of materials taken, gone. And now they are going for $100 million from a private man to go and finish the property and sell it out because Yaboka. Recently, go to Pokuase. You take our land, 203 acres of land at Pokuase. Recently, called affordable housing. 203 acres of land, Pokuase, and given it to a private people, investors, built and sell in dollars. One bedroom is 20,800 United States dollars. That's your president for you.
Is that affordable housing?
That is your president for you. That is MPP government for you.
Affordable housing.
That's the question.
Can you, which of you can afford that to live in?
20,000.
Then it is not affordable housing.
So 20,800, 2 bedrooms. I didn't say it. As Asubachi said it, announced it. 34,000 United States dollars for 2 standard bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms are going for $42,000. Now, Captain, go back to their manifesto. Go and see what they were promising us. They have taken us to a gym. Nyansa. Omufe ya dume ha. Pesa me ya Ghana ni na yakoto abana. And net ye to obi and net yamu be letter say leave the room and your family, and that person don't even think. You see them singing songs here and there. We belong to and okumi krana media ya wumi tumu and to there we them come ha. That is foolish talk. Unquote. Who tell me ne?
And then my bedroom.
Who tell me ne? No, I'm telling you, and you telling me say ya wo to NDC, we wo to NPP mu. If this government has rendered you in a position bia unya baby na and they will feel rich na ya man letter ye too, because federal indiscriminately was 20 them was over 2 paja. Then the Nigerians, if you go to tiptoeing, right? Now the Ghanaians themselves cannot have access to our stores because they can't pay rent. If the foreigners have taken over the stores, and Ghanaians have been rendered what? Useless. This is the government we are talking about. I'm not here to do politics, Captain, but I'm here to expose and do exposé against any policy that is inimical, any policy that will not give you peace. And that NPP housing policy, compared to John Dramani Mahamad's policy, is what we have declared support for. Which without fear so many quarters, and without any ambiguity, we are saying that we needed a policy that will make sure, say, the laws will be enforced. That is our basic definition of the law.
Rest your case.
That's it,
let me give the remaining 5 minutes
yes.
to mommy. Okay,
yes, that's fine.
Ma'am.
I only want like 2 minutes of the 5 minutes. Okay. I have one thing to say.
No interruption. Go ahead.
You know,
let me.
I'm 62.
Oh, 62.
I'm 62. But he is the future. And he's wilder than me. And he's more of a tiger than me. And he and his brothers and sisters are coming for them. They will ask me, Mommy, you just sit back. We will go and do the fight for you. If we have a problem and we don't understand it, we'll come to you and discuss it with you. Because I will be a mommy at the back. And if you kill me, a daddy will come. But these are the people you need to be afraid of. The youth, the young people of today. Not as who we were packing our bag and running away and going abroad. These ones are not going anywhere. It will come a time when they go to get a visa, they will be asked to go and do a medical check for heavy metal poisoning. Because that man doesn't want you in his country, wasting his national health money on your health care. So you can't go anywhere. You will sit here. Your young crap now is not going to go. It's going to sit here. So the people they need to be afraid of is these young people. And if they like, go and arrest all the young people in this country and see where you put them. You arrested a few. They are out now. They're telling their stories. The way this man spoke with passion, these are the young people who make me feel passionate about everything. Fear the young people. They are coming for you.
Okay. Me can't say we never sorry Yako. And ya me dead da so be yare. And I so be bewu. Na ebo na omo papa wo ho no. Ebo ni timi free baby ya blast here no. Akwa ahemfie, ebu ahemfie na pempem. Ebo na bo ohene nua be ma so. Apai ni tirim ekuno. Ekuno. Okay. What do you not to nchen ya? Ghana, ye woni pa baako a ye na ye di sika from 2017 besi ene de odie de ohye de onom ne fuel bibia wona ho the medical bills Ghana ni tua ye frɛ no Asante Bediatuo. Okay. Ena ye say oyare say UK minister bagana hana obeyare a yede ne beko he yede ne beko ne kurum say yamfa ne nko Ghana yamfa ne nko no nko hospital e wo ne kurum tika Asante Bediatuo so koyare wo UK US ahina sese yede ne ba madrin wo sa menti ase o omo yo so mo si hospital ama me bo a ade no yare no ni kurum hospital ne bi which you can't some to can quasem. Agenda wuni 1111. Agenda was say 1111. Agenda 111 as Asante Bediatuo them be. Agenda 111 no. Emudi ya hina Bediatuo da. Odai. Ye bibia dada. It is say so if you Germany ba no ye or your diplomat wa be yare wo Ghana the next available flight the never call Germany other than Asante Bediatuo the next available flight if US ba Ghana na amfa na ma wa meda agenda 111 enra me pass 70 me sheda ko UGMC University of Ghana Medical Center o se ono ade asese ye koso se de be ya yen ntimi nkobi nti first na ka 1500 uduru na ode ato ho ansa ya hwewo na omo de call 2000 ode to ho ansa ya hwewo e na omo de call 3000 udu to ansa ya hwewo se wuni 45 million 4500 Ghana cedis udu UGMC a tani Mahamadu siye tani meka 10 years obi atiase obi anu de jamaica sa 10 no nesi wudru UGMC a We need 4,500 Ghana cedis, 45 million. Yedebe mau kada. Yentimi show. Akufo TV.
Yo, it is for winning and someone about the toy Yaponoso, make out say, hi, GC News, and indeed, so we are subscriber ya, or more than say, over subscribe to the channel. Now, feel so we are, well, like a video, give us a thumbs up. Now, fee, share my offer for so now when you be here, and say, how do you get latest and hot news? Kwa Annan Bremo. Also, betting me otchere Gyamfi and so we now, I will comment boxing. Mobati make a video in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.